Sup guys, it's DMark. I'm coming back at you guys with another video. Today I'm going to be giving you guys my mid-season predictions on how I think the rest of the season will play out. Before we get into the video, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, follow me on Twitter at DMarkBaseball. I'm always tweeting about baseball on there. And comment down below if you disagree or agree with my predictions. But without further ado, let's get right into the video. I'm not going to be doing the records of each team, well, because I don't have time for that, but starting off the standings with the AL East division. I have the Yankees running away with first place. Even with all the injuries, the Yankees were still able to be a dominant force in all of baseball. You can also expect them to add one or two starting pitching pieces, as their pitching as of late hasn't been the best. For second place, it's going to be a tight race between the Rays and Red Sox, but I have the Red Sox coming out on top. The Red Sox have one of the most feared lineups in all of baseball, featuring powerhouses like Mookie Betts and JD Martinez. Obviously, their bullpen is one of the weakest, but don't be surprised if they bolster it up during the trade deadline. The Rays will have to settle for third place, but it's entirely possible they could finish out in second place. Having a trade deadline like they did last year, maybe adding a bat or a pitching piece, will definitely keep them in contention for the division. And despite Vlad Jr. getting the call up this year, the Blue Jays will finish out in fourth, and the Orioles will obviously sit dead last. Moving on to the AL Central, we have the Indians and Twins battling out for first place. But personally, the Twins will just barely win the battle. I can expect the Twins to add a couple of starting pitching and bullpen pieces. And with their already dominant lineup, they might be the team to beat. Despite the Indians' dominant pitching staff, their lineup and specifically their outfield is extremely weak. The Indians may substitute a starting pitcher for a couple solid bats to plug into that weak lineup. Although the White Sox have a plethora of young talent, they will finish in third, with the Royals coming in fourth and the struggling Tigers in last. For the AL West, without much surprise, I have the Astros winning the division by a hefty amount. The Astros are in trade talks to add another starting pitcher. Although they are already a strong force, it would help to grab an extra starter for the postseason. The Athletics will have to settle for second. Although they are yet again having another sneaky good season, I don't see them being able to keep up with the Astros, even with a good trade deadline. The Rangers, although a hot start to the season, will come in third, probably selling most of their valuable pieces, followed by the Angels in fourth, poor Mike Trout, and obviously the Mariners in last. Into the National League we go, starting off with NL East. I have the Braves taking the division easily with their young but powerful lineup. For second place, it's going to be a tight battle between the Phillies and Nationals, but in my opinion, the Nationals just barely edge out the Phillies. With their strong pitching staff and powerful lineup featuring young studs like Anthony Rendon and Juan Soto, they are having a sneaky good season. The Phillies, who looked to run away with the division earlier this year, with the additions of Bryce Harper and JT Realmuto earlier this offseason, will finish out in third place as their injuries and their weak pitching staff holds them back from gaining ground in the NL East. The Mets finish out a disappointing season, settling for fourth place as they are looking to sell during the trade deadline, followed by the Marlins in dead last yet again. Moving on to the controversial NL Central, I have Christian Yelich and the Brewers just barely edging out the Cubs and Cardinals for first place. If the Brewers add extra pitching pieces to go along with their already strong lineup featuring last year's MVP Christian Yelich, they may be the team to beat in the National League. Second place was tough, but I think I'm going to go with the Cubs making some good trade deadline deals, maybe adding a bat or an extra bullpen piece, allowing them to beat out the Cardinals for second place. The Cardinals will have to settle for third place, although they have been on fire as of late. Their slow start to the season might come back to bite them. Even though the Reds made a lot of good trades this past offseason, they'll finish out in fourth place, and the Pirates ending out their disappointing season in last place. Finally, we have the NL West, and without any surprise, the Dodgers run away with the division. The Giants will cool off from their hot stretch and will settle for second place, with the Diamondbacks selling most of their valuable pieces coming in third. The Padres will swipe fourth place from the Rockies as the rebuild schedule may be coming to an end soon. Ending it off, the Rockies will finish their disappointing season in last place. Starting the postseason, we have the wildcard game for the AL, and it's going to be an electric one. The Indians versus the defending World Series champions, the Boston Red Sox. And I have Chris Sale fumbling in the playoffs as the Indians will move on to the ALDS to face the Yankees. On to the NL wildcard game. It's going to be one of the biggest rivalries in all of baseball. The Cubs versus the Cardinals. Each team has their ace on the mound and are playing their best in every position. In an extra inning game, I have the Cubs walking off the Cardinals. Alright, here we go, to the playoffs. Before we get into my predictions, make sure to comment down below who you guys think the World Series matchup will be. But without further ado, let's jump right into the ALDS. There's obviously two different series going on to determine who goes on to the ALCS. For matchup 1, we got the Indians versus Yankees. One of the best starting rotations going up against one of the most powerful lineups in all of baseball. But the Indians' powerhouse of a pitching staff will not be able to contain the Bronx Bombers. On to matchup 2, we got the Astros vs. Twins. I have the underdog Twins winning it in 5 games. Here comes the ALCS, the series that determines who goes on to the Fall Classic. We have the Yankees going for number 28 and the Twins going for the first since 1991. And in a 7-game series, I have the Yankees one step closer to number 28. Moving on to the NL, jumping right into the ALDS, we have for matchup number 1 the Dodgers vs. Cubs, and I have the Dodgers running away with the series, sweeping the Cubs. Next for matchup 2, we have the Braves vs. the Brewers, and in 5 games I have the Braves moving on to the NLCS. This is a series that determines who goes on to play the Yankees in the World Series, the NLCS. We have the Dodgers trying to redeem their recent struggles in the Fall Classic, and the Braves trying to prove everyone wrong. In a long but electric 7-game series, I have the Dodgers losing to the Braves. Here we are, the World Series, what every team dreams of. The Yankees going for number 28 and the Braves going for their first since 1995. One of the most powerful lineups and bullpens in the league going up against some of the young and upcoming stars. In a 6-game series, I have the New York Yankees taking home number 28. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you guys did enjoy, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, follow me on Twitter at DMark Baseball, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.